Picture this, a Christmas day so cruel it could freeze hell over, where the twinkling lights and eggnog haze hit a betrayal sharp enough to slice through a decade of love. My wife, Alice, thought she could blindside me with divorce papers, her family clapping like it was some twisted reality show. But she didn't know I'd been waiting, gift in hand, ready to unwrap her secrets in front of everyone she loved. The silence screamed louder than any argument ever could when Alice slid that garish red envelope across the polished mahogany dinner table. It was Christmas, the air thick with the scent of pine and spiced rum, carols murmuring softly from the stereo. Her mother, Agnes, raised her crystal glass in a toast, her brother Daniel's smug chuckle cutting through the festive hum. Alice's smile was all teeth, her eyes cold as the December frost outside. She handed me the envelope like it was a holiday card, her manicured nails catching the glow of the fairy lights. I peeled it open, expecting maybe a sappy note, but instead found divorce papers staring back at me. No heads up, no heated rose, no slow drift apart. Just this bombshell, dropped like a grenade in the middle of our holiday feast. And then, her whole family started clapping, like they'd just nailed the surprise of the century. I didn't flinch. My eyes flicked from her to them, then back to the papers. I forced a smile, matching her performance. She leaned in, her breath warm against my ear, and hissed, "Merry freakin' Christmas, babe." I leaned closer, my voice a low murmur. "You really oughta open your present, Alice." Her smirk faltered. She hadn't expected me to play along, let alone bring a gift. Oh, but I did, and it was a doozy. 10 years back, we were college sweethearts, drunk on love and big dreams. Her laugh was sharp, like a firecracker, pulling me in with a magnetic force I couldn't resist. I was the reserved type, a law student with my future mapped out like a city planner's blueprint. Alice made me believe in softer things. Family, a cozy home, a life filled with warmth. So I built it. I bought us a charming suburban house with a wraparound porch, grew my law practice into something solid, and bankrolled her grad school dreams. We had Sunday brunches with her parents, Agnes and Chester, who treated me like their own. I even put up with her insufferable brother Daniel, who acted like he was God's gift to humanity. He never liked me, probably because I didn't bow down to his ego like everyone else. To the world, we were the golden couple. Picture perfect, living the American dream. To me, we were happy. Until the cracks started showing. It was the little things at first. A new password locking her phone. Too many girls' nights that stretched into the wee hours. Hushed conversations that died when I entered the room. Daniel suddenly all chummy, flashing his too white grin a bit too often. I'm not paranoid, I'm a lawyer. I deal in evidence, not hunches. So I dug. Bank statements showed charges I didn't recognize. Boutique hotels, pricey dinners, a secret credit card she thought I'd never find. Then I hired a private investigator, because suspicions aren't enough in my line of work. When the photos landed on my desk, Alice and Daniel, tangled up in ways no sister-in-law and brother-in-law ever should be, I didn't lose my cool. Anger's messy. Focus is surgical. I didn't confront her. That would have been too easy, too predictable. Instead, I played the long game, quiet as a shadow. I cataloged everything. Receipts, text messages, hotel bookings. Her affair with Daniel laid bare in black and white. In our state, infidelity still carries weight in court, and marital misconduct can tip the scales. I rewrote my will, funneled assets into a trust she didn't know existed, and transferred the house deed to my sister's name. I had Alice sign a stack of financial papers, calling them tax updates. She never read them, just scrawled her signature with that blind trust she still had in me. Oh, honey, you shouldn't have. Then I bided my time, waiting for her to make her move. Back to that Christmas dinner, the applause fizzled out. Her family's eyes were glued to me, expecting a meltdown, maybe some yelling to spice up their holiday. But I just nodded, tucked the divorce papers into my coat pocket like they were a grocery list, and pointed to a small silver box under the tree, wrapped with a ribbon and tagged with her name. "Go on, Alice, open it," I said, my voice smooth as eggnog. She hesitated, her confidence cracking. Everyone turned to watch. She grabbed the box, gave it a little shake, and flashed a fake smile. Classic Alice, always performing. She untied the ribbon, lifted the lid, and her face went ghost white. Her fingers shook as she pulled out the contents, a stack of glossy photos, her and Daniel cozy in hotel lobbies, slipping into rooms they had no business sharing. Underneath, hotel receipts, bank transfers, and a USB drive she knew held the real dirt. Surveillance footage, GPS logs, emails she thought she'd deleted. It was a courtroom-ready bombshell, wrapped prettier than any Tiffany's bauble. Her mother gasped, her hand flying to her pearls. Her father choked on his bourbon, coughing like he'd swallowed a pine needle. Alice's voice quavered. "Why, you can't do this." "Oh, I can, and I will," I cut in, calm as a winter lake. I straightened my tie, standing slow and deliberate. "I figured you wouldn't want me ripping open your little divorce gift in front of the whole fam, but I sure as heck wanted you to open mine." I turned to her parents, their faces frozen in shock. "Did y'all know your darling daughter's been shacking up with her sister's husband for 8 months? Paid for their little love nests with our joint account, no less." Daniel tried to pipe up, all bluster. "Look, man, let's just..." I shut him down cold. "Better call a lawyer, buddy. Those hotel stays? You paid for 'em with company funds. That's embezzlement. I sent a nice little package to your boss this morning." The room gasped like they were in a soap opera. I swiveled back to Alice, who was trembling like a leaf in a storm. "I'm filing tomorrow, grounds of adultery, with enough evidence to bury you. And oh, by the way, you don't own the house anymore. Check the deed. Those tax documents you signed? Yeah, you gave up any claim to my firm's assets. Whoops." I glanced at her mother, who looked like she'd seen a ghost. "Agnes, you might want to clear out the guest room. Your girl's gonna need a place to crash once the court hands me full ownership and a clean break." Alice crumpled onto the couch, silent, her perfect facade shattered. I grabbed my coat, slung it over my shoulder, and headed for the door. I paused, turning back to the room, now quiet as a graveyard. "Merry freaking Christmas, y'all," I said, my voice dripping with the same sarcasm she'd thrown at me. Then I stepped out into the biting winter air. The cold stung my cheeks as I slid into my car, shutting the door with a satisfying thud. I sat there for a moment, hands on the wheel, just breathing. Not angry, not heartbroken, just free. For years, I'd played the doting husband, building a life I thought we both wanted. Turns out, I'm better at being the storm nobody sees coming. When you hand a guy like me divorce papers on Christmas Day, with your family cheering like it's a damn parade, you better pray he didn't bring a gift. But I did. And it was wrapped in cold, hard truth, tied with a bow of justice. I turned the key in the ignition, the engine purring to life. As I pulled away, the house's warm glow faded in the rearview mirror. Alice thought she'd played me, but she forgot who she was dealing with. I'm not just a lawyer. I'm the guy who knows how to win. And this Christmas, I didn't just walk away. I left her with nothing but the ashes of her own betrayal. Merry Christmas, indeed.